Hey guys, this is Ahshay. Welcome to Asè'Underground. I did get dressed up for you all because Jupiter represents yellow, brown, topaz. Okay, so this was the yellow I had. So I'm rocking it today. All right, let's get into this Jupiter karma. All right, I'm super excited about this. So let's start off with the major arcana. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Temperance card. Jupiter and Sagittarius, okay? Jupiter represents luck. I know you guys already know this, okay? So just get your notebook and your tarot cards out. Mark down the stuff that you already know, that you already got going on. And if I say something, if I drop a gem or something that you were like, oh, I didn't know that, you know, you can write it down next to the card or whatever, all right? So Jupiter represents luck, expansion, the ninth house. The ninth house is libraries, long distance travel, things of that nature, right? Things that expand our knowledge, okay? And Jupiter is guru. So, of course, us implementing that knowledge and getting wisdom, right? So, this is the just the beauty of the wheel turning in your favor, winning the lottery, being able to go on a vacation, right? Beautiful things that happen in our life that make us feel like we are on top of the world. And then this Temperance card is the experience and the knowledge coming together so that we are able to enter more of our higher realms or our higher self. I know some people don't separate the two, and that's fine, but we're more in alignment with that nature that we have, and we are able to order our steps in a way of patience and tempering, knowing and understanding the wisdom that comes with that, okay? So, like, I have experience of doing certain skills in high school, right? So when I enter a new skill set now in my adult life, I am patient with it. I take my time with it because I understand that this could take 3 or 4 years before I'm able to be at a certain level of mastery, and that's okay because I've already gone that path. I already have that experience with other things. That's, you know, temperance energy. We also have the alchemy here with the Two of Cups, okay? And they mirror the Two of Pentacles. So Two of Pentacles is Jupiter in Capricorn, right? An expansion on the material realm. This is someone who's able to get the laundry done, cook a meal, pick up the kids, maybe even paint, right? Someone who has more mastery over juggling the day to day, right? So I find that really, really cool too, as well. And I don't know if I've ever had these two come up in a reading before, but that would be an interesting channel, right? Then we have Jupiter in Leo with the Six of Wands, right? Now, Jupiter in Leo, this is so that leader energy, when guru meets that leadership energy, you have a leader who is for the people. You have a leader who is kind, a humanitarian, someone that's going to make sure that the people are good and the people are going to cheer that leader on. It's a very victorious energy, right? Jupiter in Pisces. So if your Jupiter is in Pisces, please, please, please look at the video below where this, I believe his name is Ryan. I'm not good with his last name. It's not Kasnick, but he has a really expansive PowerPoint on Jupiter and all the different astrological signs. And if your Jupiter is in Pisces, you have a natural channel and bridge from the spiritual to the material realms, okay? So you can easily be in both realms. You can easily channel spirits. You can easily have intuitive and downloads, right? So it's really important that you know how to balance your Jupiter karmas, such as making sure that your body is a temple, okay? And maybe even exploring ancient texts that are over 500 years old. But more of the body is a temple balance if you have a Jupiter in Pisces, because you don't want to go too far into the spiritual realm where you're not able to keep a job or do for yourself here in the material realm. But you definitely do not want to go so far into the material realm where it starts to be more of an honoring of money and then God is completely cut off. So Jupiter in Pisces is a superpower. Learn how to use it. Learn what the kryptonite is. All that. Okay. Next would be the Four of Swords. Jupiter in Libra. So when Jupiter is in Libra, it's going to expand kind of that, that feel good energy, right? Now, Four of Swords is rest, rejuvenation. In Libra, I think of fashion, I think of the arts as well. So this could be someone, say you want to binge watch your favorite TV show in the Four of Swords, right? You want to, maybe you just want to cook all day. You don't want to be bothered with anybody. You just want to cook all day. To me, it gives that type of vibe. So yeah, Jupiter in Libra. And then we have Jupiter in Gemini, which is Eight of Swords. So this is like a battle here, right? Because Jupiter is having faith in the divine, okay? Not questioning the divine, even when bad things are happening. But that Gemini energy is logic, right? So this is how I see it. Say your intuition is telling you to move to another country, but here comes the Gemini energy, and then Jupiter maybe expanding that energy. Oh no, I don't have the job. I don't have the money. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I can't move across the country because just logically, these are the facts. And actually, statistically, people don't even get these many visas. And I saw this woman literally online talking about how unrealistic it was. Don't let these people fool you who are traveling outside of the country or living outside of the country. And then she was literally like breaking down how unrealistic it was for you to travel outside of the country versus these people taking some people's miracle away, I think, right? Because I live outside of the United States now. And it was through a miracle. It was through Jupiter energy. You cannot tell me any differently, for sure. And I'm going to get more into Jupiter karma and that type of energy as well. But yeah, not everybody has that Jupiter energy. Not everybody maybe has put in the auspicious karma maybe to receive that type of wheel of fortune, right? And there are people who are going to be in a more Jupiter Gemini energy and unfortunately maybe tie themselves up so that they stay put and they don't move out of the country, or they don't, it's not where there's a will, there's a way. It's more of, this is why this can't happen to me. It happens to everybody else, but it can't happen to me type of energy. Be really careful of that, And if you see that in a reading, maybe you can communicate that to the viewer, right? I'm not a tarot master, you know what I'm saying? I'm just a tarot enthusiast. So some of you guys here would know more than me, right? So put in the comment section what you think about that. Now, I'm going to go here to the Hierophant and the High Priestess. I found out that the Hierophant used to be Zeus energy. Depending what like tarot deck you get from like a French tarot deck, like say you get tarot, I think Tarot de Marseille or de Marseille. Marseille. And you'll see that the Hierophant is what do you call it? Zeus, or the Roman god Jupiter. And then the High Priestess is Juno. Now, I'm more than certain that Juno is a constellation in the sky, but she's also a badass goddess for women, mothers, fertility, right? I don't know their story fully, but I'm definitely going to look into Jupiter and Juno, what their story is, and we will get into the Hierophant and the High Priestess in a whole other video. I think that's just a really cool deep dive. So look out for that. Subscribe if you're into that. And if you want to hear the myth about how Jupiter saved the world as well, okay? So, yeah, now let's talk about the karmas of Jupiter. So the karmas... you have to find out in your birth chart where your Jupiter is, okay? So if like I think I should know, right? That my Jupiter is in Scorpio, right? That gives me a lot of curiosity into esoteric, spirituality, the occult. Anything that's ancient knowledge, things like that, okay? It expands that curiosity of that. It makes me want to deep dive into certain subjects and certain things and do certain research, right? If your Jupiter, say, is debilitated in Gemini, right? Let's say Gemini, then you're going to want to relieve some of that, okay? Because we want good karma. We want the wheel to be in our favor. We want luck. So how do we do that? We can wear yellow or brown We can do our Jupiter mantra. I have a video with the Jupiter mudra, okay? Where you go like this, and then you do your chant, okay, 108 times. You can get the Jupiter yantra, okay? And that is where you look at an image that exemplifies or represents Jupiter while doing your mudra 108 times. You could do it every Thursday and just in honor of Jupiter to relieve that karma. Now, if you were like, Ahshay, that's too far, listen to this. There's different things you can do in your everyday life to help relieve your Jupiter karma. These things include, and I'm going to use Saturn for an example. When relieving karma from Saturn, we literally go out and we seek the needy, we seek the homeless, we seek the orphans, right? And we help these people. But with Jupiter, it's an everyday energy. So it's you walking to the bank and somebody asks you for a meal and you provide them with that meal. Someone asks you for $1, you provide them with that dollar. And if you're not into that energy, because you could give them something yellow, like my uncle was asking people for food on the island, and I saw him from the car, so I gave him yellow bananas, not knowing at the time that that's something very auspicious for your Jupiter karma, okay? And I'm sure it helped him because it was really hot that day, and it probably helped fill him up, fill his belly up, so that was good. If a woman needs help across the street, someone is short $1 at the grocery store, okay, you open the door for somebody. It's just being a kind human being in the day to day, okay? Showing kindness, showing humility. It brings honor to Jupiter. When your guru or your teacher, like say you're into jazz and your jazz teacher says, hey, I need you to practice your modulations. I suggest you practice maybe a chord, scale, and a interval every 2 weeks or something like that. When you actually implement it, that is bringing honor to Jupiter. When you do what your gurus are telling you to do or suggesting you to do, and you actually follow through on it, you are giving, honor to Jupiter, okay, which is good for your Jupiter karma. Reading a book over 500 years old, 1,000, the older the better, 1,000, 2,000 years old, for an hour a day, or at least on the day of Jupiter, that is going to expand your Jupiter karma. Jupiter, the Roman god Jupiter, had knowledge of all spiritual systems. Shamanism, okay, Muslim, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism. He had knowledge of all spiritual systems, and it's not, and this is the shadow of Jupiter, being in like a dogmatic, right? A dogmatic energy of where you're right and everyone else is wrong, being in a self-righteous energy. We have to be very careful with that. Another example of the shadow of Jupiter would be the jazz musician saying, hey, smooth jazz is not jazz, and I don't even want to listen to smooth jazz, and how dare you want to be a smooth jazz artist, and you are my pupil. You know what I'm saying? Because you always hear jazz musicians talking about how smooth jazz is not jazz, right? Or say you are learning from a dark occultist, right? And the occultist has acquired so much rigor, so much study, right? That to channel tarot and to not even know which card goes on the tree of life, I couldn't tell you either, guys, okay? But the occultist or the guru, the teacher, could find that very what do you call that, like just a disgrace to the art, right? They could see it that way, just like the jazz musician could see smooth jazz as a disgrace to the art. And we have to be careful about this shadow in Jupiter, because when we get this so much rigor to the point where we start judging other artists, judging other genres, judging just how other people do their art, we cut off miracles and blessings, because the benevolence of Jupiter can see the bigger picture and can see, hey, even though this pick a card tarot reader doesn't know where this card goes on the tree of life, just them getting triggered by the card and them sharing their story is healing other people, okay? Or just because this smooth jazz artist can't necessarily go within, can't tell you what the 3 or the 5 is, maybe they just know how to play Usher in smooth jazz fashion, right? It doesn't mean that it's not changing the environment, allowing people to dance. You know, people are rocking their head to it. You know what I'm saying? They have a place in this world, and they are, you know, doing good things through their art, which is spiritual warfare, right? So there are demons, or not even demons, guys, because that's a whole other conversation about demonic energy or whatever, but they are slaying certain energies and alchemizing certain things. There we go. They are performing an alchemy with their art, and that should be honored. Okay, so guru does have to be careful of not getting into that shadow energy, but we also, as pupils, students, you know, should listen to guru and understand the wisdom that guru is trying to give us, right? So there's that balance again. So yeah. Also, Jupiter answers prayers. So Jupiter is going to answer the prayers of those that need it most. So refugees, orphans, miracles will happen in their lives. And when those miracles happen in their lives, it is Jupiter giving them those answered prayers. And so when we pray as well, we pray that the needy, the homeless, that these miracles happen for them, right? And that's us being in that Jupiter energy. And of course, divinity is on top, right? This is not taking God or divinity out of the picture. This is just showing us what is in the Jupiter energy, how we can be more aligned with the Jupiter energy, how miracles can happen for others and around us, and we can have more of that energy around us, right? Because when you get into like a selfish energy to where you don't want to give, oh, it's just me and mine and this and that, you're cutting off the miracle energy. You're cutting off that wheel of fortune in your favor, okay? And you're creating more of an inauspicious energy for Jupiter in your life. So this is a really cool paradigm shifting way to think of it, right? So that we don't always get into that me, myself, and my family, or my kids, or my type of energy, even though it can be really easy to do that with, you know, the different evils of the world, right? Or the lower vibrations, I should say, of the world. So yeah, I hope this gave you the paradigm shift and the life force rejuvenation for your journey. I'm always honored to be on this journey with you all. I will see you guys next time. If there's anything you want to add in the comment section, or anything you feel like I made a mistake on, please correct me. And I'm hoping to drop a video of the mantra, the yantra, the mudra, the yantra and the mantra. Okay. And more of us implementing the wisdom instead of me just spitting knowledge to you guys, right? Okay. So yes, I will see you guys next time, maybe in the Venus video or pick a card reading. And yeah, bye.